Reading and writing numbers. We will review here the three forms of reading and writing numbers: standard form, word form, and expanded form. We will begin with this number here, 21,056. In standard form, that's exactly what we look as the number being, just as standard as it is, with no embellishments or differences or add-ons or subtractions or designs. Just the Arabic numerals, 21,056. This is standard form. Word form is just that, words. So we're going to use words. So first we have 21 and it ends in the thousands place. So that's 21,000. And anytime we have a tens and a one, we must put hyphen between it. 21,000. And since that's the end of the period, we must put a comma after it, just like we do in standard form. 56. And 56 is a tens and a ones, so we put a hyphen between those two places. Expanded form, you learned how to write expanded form in this way. 2 is in the 10,000s place. That's the same as saying 2 times 10,000s, which is 20,000. Added to 1 in the 1,000s place, 1 times 1,000, which is 1,000. Added to no 100s, 0 times 100 is 0, so you can either put 0 there or just leave it out completely. 5 in the tens place, that's 5 times 10, which is 50. And 6 in the ones place is 6 times 1, which is 6. This is how you learn to write expanded form. Now in 5th grade, we're going to write expanded form. Need my eraser. Just like we're going to write expanded form using algebraic expressions. So 2 is in the 10,000s place, so that's the same as saying 2 times 10,000. We're going to go ahead and write that out. 2 times 10,000. 1 is in the thousands place. We're going to add that to 1 times 1,000, which is 1,000. Now there are 0 100, so we could do 0 times 100 or leave it out. Either way works. 5 is in the tens place, so that's the same as saying 5 times 10, which is 50. And we're going to add that to 6 times 1, which is 6. And this is how we're going to write expanded form. Now let's use our other number here and write out the three forms of 13 and 48 hundredths. $13 and 48 hundredths. This is how it looks in standard form. In word form, 13 and represents the decimal point. 48, and that's a tens and a one, so we need to put a hyphen there. And it ends in the hundredths place. So we're going to write hundredths with a THS at the end to indicate that it is in a decimal place. Hundredths. An expanded form will be 1 in the tens place, so that's the same as saying 1 times 10. 3 is in the ones place, that's 3 times 1. 4 is in the tenths place, that's a 4 times 1/10. And 8 is in the hundredths place, that's 8 times 1/100th. Okay? Another way to write that could look like this. 1 times 10 plus 3 times 1 plus 4 times 1/10 written like this, and 8 times 100th written like 0.01. So you can write it either way, but we will use this form of expanded form in 5th grade this school year. Let's try a few more, writing some decimal numbers in expanded form. This is 0 and 5/10. So write 0. Oops. I started a word form. That's not what I wanted. I want to do expanded form. Sorry about that. 0's in the ones place, so we could do 0 times 1 or not. It doesn't matter at this point. Plus 5 in the tens place, that's the same as saying 5 times 1/10. Okay. You can have this expanded form, or you could have expanded form without that ones place. And we can just have 5 times 1/10. And that works just as well. Oops. Okay. 0 and 1600ths, so we don't have any 1, so we don't need that. 1 in the tenths place, that's the same as saying 1 times 1/10. And 6 in the hundredths place, that's 6 times 1/100th. Written like this. Make sure the vinculum goes over that. 4 and 7800ths. 4 is in the ones place, so that's 4 times 1. 7 is in the tens place, that's 7 times 1/10. And 8 is in the hundredths place, that's 8 times 1/100th. Okay. 425 and 800ths. 4 is in the hundreds place, 4 times 100. 2 is in the tens place, 2 times 10. 5 is in the ones place, 5 times 1. There are no tenths, so I can put 0 times 1/10 or leave it out. And there's 8 1/100ths, 8 times 100th. And that's what 425 and 8/10 looks like. Now we have 1,079 and 263 thousandths. 1 is in the thousands place, so that's 1 times 1,000. There are no 100s, so we can leave that out. Or put it in, doesn't matter. 7 times 10, because that's 7 is in the tens place. Added to 9 times 1, which is in the ones place, so 9 times 1. 2 is in the tenths place, so that's 2 times 1/10. 6 is in the hundreds place, hundredths, so that's 6 times 1/100th. And 3 is in the thousands place, so that's 3 times 1/1000th. And that's the expanded form of 1,079 and 263 thousandths. And there's the review of reading and writing numbers in the 3 forms: standard form, word form, and expanded form.